It's a tough one. It's something that I think a lot of people don't think about until you need to think about it. It's one of those things, and that unless a family member is sick or you're sick or something important is happening in your life, you don't really think about it. But when you do, you suddenly have this tremendous amount of faith, and I think faith is different from religion, but you still have this belief, this hope, this desire that things will work out for the best. And it sort of goes back to the old saying that there are no, what's the word? There are no atheists in foxholes. And I know that they're not specific. They're not mutually exclusive. And they are rather mutually exclusive. I think faith and religion are different, but there is a tie-in, and I think if you have it, it's a good thing to have, as long as your faith doesn't interfere with other people's beliefs or lack of faith.
Hope. Faith is, to me, my belief in the good of other people. It's my optimism. It's me just being innately optimistic. I've said many times I've had some really shockingly out of the blue, sometimes things that people would perceive as horrible happen in my life. However, those things are completely offset by the fact that amazing out of the blue things happen to me so often.
You want me to go?
Upsetting.
Oh, upsetting. Okay, go ahead.
Incredibly upsetting. For a lot of different reasons, for me at least. I see people depending on specifically faith when it comes to religion way too much. I mean, it's great that people have, I feel that it's great that people have something to believe in or someone to believe in. I believe in something myself. However, I don't depend on it to survive. Will I go to it when I'm in a low point? Yes. Will I say something when I need to? Yes. But do I depend on it? Do I use it as an honest to goodness crutch where I will stop in my tracks in order to let something happen that's beyond worldly possibilities? No. And I think that I've met too many people that believe that and feel that way to the point that they don't do anything for themselves because they're waiting for something to happen for them.
Faith is probably the most important thing in my life. In contrast to what Edgar said, I most definitely rely on it, not to the point where I wouldn't do anything. Like, I certainly need to, do things and just have faith as my guideline, my all-encompassing guide, things that I live for, and not necessarily even what I've been taught. I don't think it's just faith in God being of the utmost importance, a constant, like, people will leave you, people can, other things will pass away, but faith is your constant that you can live for, that you're certain of. So you can be sure of one thing to grasp onto, which is really comforting. It's a great comfort, and it helps you be strong in any circumstances to anyone.
Oh, this is a good one. I'll leave Aaron to take care of some of this. Although, this goes back to what Aaron brought up about meditation and about contemplation and prayer. Faith is an extremely powerful word, and it has to do with knowledge of self. The world isn't tangible as we know it. Our science doesn't show it. We know there are things we can't touch. You can't hold air. You can't hold cold. There are things that are accepted and knowable, although they may or may not be within the realm of proof. And in math, they call it axioms, or in geometry, they call it axiomatic truths. Faith is along those lines. We have to have the ability, in order to know the self, you have to have the ability to leap, or to realize that everything that you're doing is in the realm of creation, and this thought process, this which creation is, once again, is wholly an effort in faith. To deny yourself is to not have faith, and to deny yourself is to not know yourself. All these things are tied together. The reason why we have a problem with the word, or I have a problem with the word in some cases, is only because of its connotation as relationship to the idea of belief. And I'll let Aaron take it from there.
Well, I would agree, because what is belief but to accept something for truth, whether one knows it or not, right? And that doesn't really jive with me. I would assume doesn't, jive with my man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so, and that's how we came up being anti-belief, because, we deal with awareness, consciousness, the tangible known universe. But that also kind of put us in a place because the word faith implied, mysteriousness. And for a long time, and I had this conversation the other day with a friend about certain words to me have been co-opted. It took me a while to warm up to the word faith, like spirit. Faith and spirit, things like this, they kind of have, religious connotation. But when you think about it, back to this point of it being, mathematical almost, right now we're on this living creature known as the Earth, hurling through space at 1,037 1/3 miles per hour around a giant fireball in an infinite universe with about 350 billion other suns in one galaxy, in an infinite universe of galaxies. So we have to assume, or just have faith, that the Earth is not going to spin off course and fly off into the dark.
Go too fast.
Go too fast.
Shot off.
Right, or tilt or anything. So whether people realize it or not, the moment that we wake up, us having this conversation, chilling right here, right now, we're doing it inherently having faith that the Earth will continue to flow how it will. The sun will continue to shine and give us light, love, and energy and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So faith is a given, whether people choose to accept it or not. It is a reality of life. And once you kind of infuse that, but you don't have to lose the spirituality behind it as well, because there is a spiritual nature to that understanding. Infusing that reality with the spirit realm is where faith truly lies, I think. And yeah, it's a powerful thing.
My favorite word. That's the best word of all. You got a whole list of words. Faith, that's the one that encompasses and diffuses the whole list.